about
Well,
what you
oh
want.
no, no. Actually, what's more important for me at least is what don't you want to talk about? Like, what's something that you don't want me to bring up? Because I'll bring everything up.
I'd
Like,
say
Listen, bring everything up with this motherfucker.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we want to let you know we have a special guest this evening. We have a type of man that most fighters extremely respect, love, want to be friends with. Most fighters, most mixed martial arts fighters want to be best friends with a man like Ryan Buckner. This is the type of man, let me tell you, he is a martial arts kickboxer. He understands Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, and what he says he's an expert at is mud wrestling. So this guy is a promoter of pretty much fighting. Look, he doesn't know about mud wrestling, but he wishes he can, as long as the opponent is wearing a bikini. Ryan, this is a Superman right here. As far as mentally, he is promoting all the mixed martial arts here in California. Ryan, what do you think is what you're enjoying most about promoting these events right now? So, sorry, I should have talked about your company a little bit more about your promotion. Up Next Fighting is based out of Southern California. What would you like to talk first about your awesome promotion you got going on with you and your father?
Well, first I'll say thank you guys for having me on. I really appreciate it. Happy to be here. And Up Next Fighting is just what we call the future of the fight game. We're trying to bring something new. We're family owned, so we show these. We also lead with showing the fighters compassion, love, and we're doing it different than the rest of the people in the industry. It's just a cutthroat industry. So we're trying to be different, and we're trying to provide a fucking great platform for all these guys that are chasing their dreams. So that's what I'm.
I talked to your pops a little while, right? And I can tell you have an awesome foundation because, first of all, he is a retired law enforcement, correct?
Yes, sir.
I am a retired law enforcement. So we have a lot to talk about. So just from being raised from a law enforcement man, I already know you're a giver, a protector. You love helping the community, correct?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I embody that, and my dad and my mom have definitely instilled that in me. So 100%.
We can tell. So when you and your pop started this promotion in Southern California, you have how many events so far that you guys have done?
Well, our 11th event is coming up actually this Saturday, November 2nd.
Location?
Sorry, September 2nd. But our 11th event in a year and 3 months, right? I don't think anyone's done that fucking when they started and just went 11 events in that time span. So we've been working hard and putting fucking shows together.
Okay, can you break it down for me? So I'm not necessarily too familiar with like matchmaking, right? So that's what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So break down the process for me. Like how do you go about finding the fighters and putting the events together? How do you find the venues? How do you do all that?
Yeah, so I mean, for me, I'm all about the fighter development. So I'm basically what I do is the matchmaking for the amateurs. We actually have a Rising Stars division. It's our amateur fighters. We want to call them Rising Stars because that's where we're turning them into. The Rising Stars of the fight game.
Like it.
What I look for though is guys that really want to fight, are determined, and they're not just fakers and posers in the fight game. Because I feel like nowadays we have a lot of people that look at MMA a little bit like, oh, I want to be Conor McGregor. I want to be this. I want to be that. But I usually have meetings with these guys before they do fight for us. I get to talk to them. I get to see what their goals are. I get to see how serious they are about it. So I think the first thing is the mindset and what they're really looking for. And then obviously skill level and how marketable they are. And if they have the whole package to kind of, be a rising star as I would call it.
So you're like the Harvard of fighting. You're like, yes, you know you're not allowed. Like you're picking. It's not like you're letting anyone in.
I think we like to give kind of everyone a chance as long as they got the right mindset and they want to be a fighter, right? It's not only the best skilled guys, because we want to give everyone an opportunity. Also, maybe them coming to us, even if they're here in skill level, we could kind of help nurture them to get them to a certain level. So yes and no. We do want to be the Harvard of fighting. We want to be the best fucking promotion in Southern California, but everyone does have a chance that they do fit into Up Next too.
So what are the things that a fighter got to say to convince you, right? Because you pretty much said, I do a job interview for the fighters, understand their mentality, how long they train, how desire they are, what are their options, how much free time they're actually training, what are they dedicating themselves. Well, what's the mindset? Because I know you're pretty much figuring out, is their mindset dedicated to this or not? What are the key things, key words? What are the type of actions that you look for in a fighter to be able to be recruited into this awesome promotion you got of Up Next Fighting?
I think first is positivity, or just their outlook. When I'm talking to them, I'm like, if they want to be a fighter, or are they looking for fucking easy matches, handpicked matches right off the start? Are they taking training seriously? Or do they come from a good gym? Is it just this guy that wants to do a one-off? I got to talk to them and see kind of their background. before I bring him in, say, hey, we as a promotion want to invest in this guy and help build him, because we do that kind of for all our fighters, and that's what makes us different. When these guys fight for us, they get the fucking A+ experience, regardless what it is. So that you kind of got to fit into what we're given. We kind of want to give back to from the fighters.
Okay. Have you ever recruited from like a bar? Like you saw someone beat the fuck out of someone, and you're like, you come here.
I don't go to bars as much anymore, but I've seen some guys back in the day where I feel like if I was doing this, I definitely have a couple guys that could come. But hey, that's a good idea. I might have to go to bars again.
I mean, go to a rough
26
neighborhood.
years old, I can still go to the bars and recruit for sure.
Yeah, bro. Just get a seltzer water, put a lime in there. They don't know. And you see someone just fucking popping off on people, you're like, yeah, I got a job for you, bro.
I feel like you'd be a good person to come to a bar and recruit some fighters with me. I don't know.
Oh, bro. I won't say nothing, but if that's how you feel, we can try it out,
Okay,
What Miguel does is he pulls all the ladies there. That's what he does, bro. Look at that pretty face right there.
Yeah, so that way you don't get distracted. Don't worry. I'll keep them over here. You worry about the fighters, bro.
Hey, sounds good to me.
So how many hours are you putting into it? Like for every event? I know it's a lot of work, a lot of months. Every month you're working on one event and then working at the next one that's coming up. How many hours do you think you put in a week as far as recruiting, watching tape, talking to your workers, talking to the event location? How many hours do you think you work a week? And then how many hours does your dad work a week?
We'll get to my dad in a second. I work, I'd say like a minimum 8 hours a day. Some days are obviously longer than not, depending on the meetings and whatnot. But I think 40 to 60 hours a week, kind of just depending on the week. My dad, on the other hand, though, this guy's a fucking workhorse. I mean, he helps me run Up Next. I mean, it's a joint thing, but he has his own private investigating company too that he has to, stay on top of and manage and run too. So, I mean, that guy's at like 80 hours a week at least.
Well, let me speak for your pops real quick. I think you need to work between 60 and 80 hours a week. 60 and 80 hours a week. Why? Because you're about to make something large, about to do something big. You guys are onto some big movements right there up here with Up Next Fighting. And let me tell you, the more you work on this, the better it's going to be for you, young buck. I'm a couple of decades older than about your pop's age. So I'm pretty sure your pop's going to back me up with work 60 to 8 hours a week and watch this shit blow up, because I can already tell you got the right mindset. You got a great product. You're in the Southern California. You fucking kidding me, bro? You got as many fighters as you want from there, and they're looking for a man just like you. So if you got the right mindset, like what you're doing, bro, people are going to love you more. You're going to get more and more fighters. So the more work you put into it, the quicker it's going to blow up, brother.
Wait,
we got your back during this.
I heard you mention that your father is doing private investigation.
Yeah.
So he's doing that and helping the business side of UNF?
Yeah, 100%. Like I say, he's a workhorse, and
yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I'm blessed to have a fucking father that has my back and supports me with fucking anything I want. But he holds me accountable. I do have to work those 50, 60-hour weeks, and I got to be on top of my stuff. So
good, bro.
We actually make a fucking great team too. I know it's kind of hard for people to work with family, but if I'm working as hard as he is, or I reach that level of what he's expecting, I mean, we're a great team. So
look, I can already tell you, right? I already talked to Chris, your pops, and he's already proud of you, very proud of you. You're doing good things, good moves. He's excited for you. He's proud of you. He enjoys working with you, But let me ask you something. Pretend he's not watching this podcast. What type of request would you like to make? Say, if I was to tell him something, you need to do this a little extra, a little better, Dad. What would you tell him if he's not watching this podcast?
What would I tell him?
Yeah.
You got to chill out sometimes. Probably I'll just tell him to chill a little bit. But that's why he's so successful. He's on his stuff, and everything needs to be done the fucking right way. And I've learned that with working from if I'm slacking on the front end, the back end, it just causes more problems later on, and then you're not going to be as professional and have the product that you're looking for. So I would tell him to chill out though sometimes. He's a hothead sometimes. But.
Gotcha. I like that about him, right? But Pops, go ahead and chill out. Chill out. Fuck that. Keep going. No, but you know what happens? It's contagious, bro. Everything. He's so proud of you, bro, and what you're doing with these fighters and showing them love and helping everyone come up, because you're literally changing the world. I'm gonna tell you straight up. I say it all the time. One of the things that I love about mixed martial arts is mixed martial arts are pretty much superhumans. So if you're helping superhumans come up, brother, you are literally changing the world, because especially out here in California, you're in the South, we're in the North, we're struggling with the same thing. Men are not really acting like men, but who do we all respect? Powerful men that are martial artists, right? Because they go through the fire, they train. Sometimes they take an ass whooping. Sometimes we give an ass whooping, but we get up and we keep on fighting. So what you're doing is you're really changing our culture here in California, which I'm going to tell you, I really respect and admire. Please keep going. That's when I tell you, work 60 to 80 hours, work more, bro. God is going to bless you in so many ways.
I'm going to get some hours of working right after this too.
Bro, you're really changing the world. You're really changing California. I think what we're doing here, promoting these fighters, because who's really helped them out the way you're doing it? You're really
Oh, yeah,
figuring
and
out who
just on
wants
that
to be
point,
that.
sorry, just on that point too. I mean, we've had fighters that literally reach out to us and tell them like we're helping them change their lives because
Right.
they do fight for us. They got some things, but we're there for them. We're telling them what to post on social media. We're guiding them the right way, and they actually are so grateful. And to get that fulfillment, like it's the best feeling in the world because we're helping these guys chase their dreams. But they actually feel the love and feel the respect that we show for them too. So
Right.
it's honestly amazing, man. There's nothing more fulfilling than that.
Well, you're training them in so many different ways. I'm gonna tell you, just from like a fighter's perspective, you know what you're doing, but I'm gonna tell you what I see for these young men and how they're gonna see you and continue to see you. They see you as a man that's gonna help me change my future. You know, some of these, you talk to some of these men and they got no other options right now. They're like, this is all I got. All I got is fighting. All I got is fighting. Well, I'm gonna tell those fighters, that's not all you got. That's all you got right now. This
Right.
is your shot right now for fighting. You know, this is not all you got. If you don't make it in this, you're not done. There's next chapters. This is your shot right now. So when I tell young fighters this, some people say, oh, I come from the hood and I never had nothing. I was raised by a single mom, or I didn't have no parents. No, young men, this is the shot you got right now. There's more opportunities coming. And right here, Ryan is going to help you get to another level, which I really respect. And this is what we're trying to do. And when you talk about you're training fighters for not only fighting, but you're training them for life, training them for the media. This is one of the things we love doing. We love to talk to fighters and get them in front of the camera. Because then you never know. It might be one fight that catapults them in front of the whole world. Now all of a sudden they don't know how to act.
Yep.
But we can help interview them and get them trained. So we like everything you're doing as far as training and preparing these people. What do you think is the most for these fighters, these young fighters that you're talking to, the young men? What do you think they're lacking most? What's number one and number two that they're lacking most?
I would go number one. I mean, not all of them, but I think that the biggest thing with fighting is the mental. Like I think you got guys that have the same skill that will go in the cage, but one is just mentally locked in, and one's thinking about all this other stuff that's going on and this and that. And the one that's mentally locked in is going to perform better and just be the better fighter that night. I would say number two is understanding that fighting is also a business. You got to be able to market yourself. You got to understand there's other avenues. It's an entertainment business, whether some people like it or not. These fighters got to learn that now because that's kind of what's going to catapult their careers even further than it would if they didn't understand that. So we try to instill that in everyone. That's why I do weekly meetings with. I try to meet with as many fighters or talk to as many fighters as I can and kind of just share that knowledge with them. So, you know, whether they're fighting with us or they get to the big show or whatever, they're ready and it's kind of they know the right path to have a good career.
So what's your background? Like, how did you get to this point where you can train these people who are inexperienced on, you know, not just the fighting end, but also on the back end stuff, like the business side and marketing themselves? Like, how did you learn all that?
So, I mean, when we start, I mean, my dad's been my mentor my whole life. So I've kind of learned everything from my dad as far as the business stuff and all that. But once we started this, we obviously got our social media team. We have a production team. And this being my baby, my business, I was ingrained in all that. I've learned it all from A to Z, or at least been, you know, learned up to this point, everything. So, you know, I kind of got the knowledge like that, just learning from my dad, learning from my parents, and just trial and error myself and kind of seeing how things work and all that. And yeah, that's kind of how I got it. But yeah, my dad pretty much fucking taught me everything I know, to be honest.
So what does your dad do when you you know, you're learning the game? We're all learning the game of life, right?
Sure.
What does your dad do when you fuck up?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I say this on camera? No, I'm kidding. But listen, my dad's my back. He supports me, but he's hard on me. You know, he holds me accountable. You know, he'll lecture me and teach me right from wrong. Some conversations and might get a little louder than they should and whatnot, but you know, he's doing it for the best. So yeah, just he holds me accountable, but nothing too crazy.
Well, I think he's got the right tone. Whatever he's saying,
He
I think
does.
he's look at what he's done with you, man.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Look at really what he's done with you.
Yeah.
What he's done with me, to get me to even be somewhat doing something good is fucking hard. So he's done great for sure.
For sure. You see? So just follow his advice, brother. You're doing great. So what's your next steps for you yourself as far as where do you see your promotion going? And then what are you going to tell these two things? Where do you see promotion going? And what are you going to tell these young men that are trying to get to your level to get looked at by you?
Yeah, so we've been in business for a little over a year now. And that first year was just about creating a good brand, good foundation. But this second year is what we're calling UNF 2.0, where we're going to go nationwide with events. We're going to get more fighters. We're going to get, you know, TV deals. We're going to get bigger sponsors, and we're going to blow this thing up to become one of the biggest promotions in the world. I don't know if that happens this year or next year, but I can fucking guarantee you we're going to blow this shit up. Where to compete with the UFC is a little crazy, but I think we can get to that level right below with the Bellators, PFLs, and all those other promotions. And we're 100% going to get there. It's only a matter of time. And, you know, I'm in no rush. I'll fucking grind it out for next couple years, 3-4 years, but I'm very confident we're going to get there with the team we have.
Nice. That's a good mindset to have.
Well, I agree with you because, you know, you can say, okay, I want to shoot for Bellator or LFA or whatever. Yeah, that's great. Look, none of these businesses were built in one day. There's that crazy saying, Rome wasn't built in one day. Well, guess what? UFC, it took them 30 years to be built to what they are. So, you know, I think you're on the right path. You got the right mindset to just keep building, because the world needs more of you. The world needs more promoters. You know, I love promoters. You guys are all about helping our community, helping people. So what are you going to tell about the fight? Tell the fighters, if you're looking at them straight at the fighter, you're going to say, to get my attention, you need to do this or act like this or do what?
I'd say if you're a fighter, to get my attention, I mean, you got to want to fight. You got to be charismatic. You got to show who you are in the cage too, right? Like, and you got to be a fucking good fighter. I think you have to have the skills. You got to have the right mindset. And if you do, up next we'll find you. We will find you because we are the future of the fight game, and we're finding the future of the fight game, and it's what we're about. And I'm telling you, I'm on the web all day looking for new fighters and seeing who's a fit for up next. So I would say fucking work hard, and just be yourself and have the skills to perform.
Correct. And then, so with that, as far as the fighters, what's the key thing that you're looking at for like first fighter? The first time you see him, what's the thing that sparks? You said charismatic. You said hardworking. You said discipline. What's the number one item that you're looking at? One thing. Charismatic.
All fighters are kind of different, right? And they might be good in this area, not. But I do love a fighter when they're walking out and they're not nervous and they're ready for the show. They're ready for the lights to be on them and they're coming and they're ready to fight. I do love seeing that. I also love seeing a fighter that's just locked in and mentally there. You can see in a guy's eyes when he's just ready to go fight. And I love seeing that. That gets me fucking going. So, you know, I would say just people that want to be there. They're not just doing it to do it. When you could tell they're invested in and they want it. So that's for sure.
So with that percentage, right? I'm a numbers guy. So when you see that and you say, okay, I have a good feeling about this guy. I have a good feeling about this guy. So say out of 100 people that you've looked at, what percentage have flunked the test right away? Out of 100, what percentage? 5%, 10%? What's the?
I'll give it like a 10%, 10 to 15%. 10
to 50%. That sounds about right. That sounds about right.
Like completely flunked, right? Just completely.
Yeah.
Probably shouldn't choose
one time in and they're out.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Fucking shit their pants and all that shit.
Is there a fighter that comes to mind that like right off the top of your head right now when it's like, yeah, this guy had it all and he's like killing it still and you're excited to see him grow?
You ain't got to say the name, but you know.
Yeah, no, actually there's one amateur who I think has it all that's fighting for us right now. His name's David Rojas.
Okay.
He's charismatic. He gets the crowd going every time he fights. And when he shows up, you know he's gonna fight. You know, he's a little active on social media. I'm trying to help him get a little better on social media. But as far as fighting mindset and what he's doing to take his career to the next step is like fucking, it's amazing. And he's amateur with he only has 3 fights. But I could see that kid is special and he has it to get to the big show.
David Rojas, you know, David Rojas. If you want us to interview, we'll bring him on platform also for you.
We'll hook you guys up.
Yeah, any of these fighters that you want us to help promote, you know, get them out there, we'd love to help out. I mean, that's what we're trying to do.
I appreciate that because I think that's what the fighters need, and people that are doing that, it's amazing for these guys, especially even me. This is my first podcast, believe it or not, and this is good for me, right, for my career and getting there. So I would definitely like to connect you guys with some of our fighters for sure.
Sure. Damn, well, shout out to you, man, because you're super ready for this. I couldn't tell this was your first one. Like, you got the whole background. You're matching the background and everything. Like,
listen, I keep giving credit to my dad. Don't tell him I said this, but you know, he keeps me well prepared and he's teaching me the right way from the fucking beginning. So,
correct. That's the right way to do it. No, you got a good pop, man. You're getting well trained for everything. See, everything in life is a training, and what you're doing with your fighters, what your dad's doing with you, it's just training. You know, because you're not only getting them ready for fighting in the ring, you're getting some of these fighters an opportunity at life, saying, hey, you can go from here to the next steps. This is life. Life doesn't just stop when you stop fighting.
Right.
No, for sure. What do you see when your fighters, what percentage of your fighters have you seen so far that start going into pro? Because you're recruiting these guys when they're straight amateurs out of the gym, right?
Yep.
Are they contacting you first? Hey, look at my tape. Look at my fights.
So it's a mixture of both. I have a lot of guys, I think now more than when we started, I definitely have a lot more guys hitting me up on Instagram, email, phone calls. When we first started, it was me reaching out to all these guys. But I think we developed a product where guys like, hey, I got to get, and humbly saying it, we're the best promotion in Southern California right now. And everyone does genuinely want to fight for us. And we're trying to, you know, give them all a platform. But with what you said, we are taking these amateurs and grooming them to be pros. And when they do go pro, if they're fit with Up Next, we're signing them to contracts. So there's
Nice.
2 amateurs right now that are regarded as 2 of the best amateurs in the world. And they are signing pro contracts with us. They're pretty much signed with us, and we'll be doing that announcement. I don't want to say their names, but they are 2 of the best amateurs in the world. I can guarantee those 2 guys will be in the UFC one day, unless we get to that level when they decide to do it.
Brother,
Wow.
I'm excited for you. I'm excited for you. So with that in mind, so you're already thinking, you're already doing what I was thinking. You're going to start recruiting these fighters and get them on contract, promote them, doing all this great stuff.
Yeah.
So how many fighters, what is your dream? How many fighters would you like to promote and be managing at this time? Not this time, but say, let's go in about 1 year and in 5 years. How many fighters would you like to be managing and promoting as far as professional fighters?
I would just answer that with saying we want to be one of the biggest promotions in the world. So that roster of 300-400 fighters, something where we can give all these guys fights, and we're doing events 2-3 times a month. That's where I want to get, and I want to have the fucking best fighters in the world too. So whatever number that is to get that, that's what I want.
Gotcha. And that's what I want right there. How many fighters does UFC have in a roster? Like 500?
Yeah, probably something around that.
Something like that?
Yeah.
So and they have 3 events a month? Is that right?
Yeah,
2,
probably
3?
an average of 2 to 4. Yeah, so right around 3 a month.
Okay, good. I like what you're doing. I like how I like the way you perk up when you start talking about that stuff, bro. Your eyes literally light up, and it's to help these fighters out, give them a future, give them another way of making money, right?
Dude, I feel like fighting is one of the hardest jobs in the world too, right? You choose this career path. I mean, mentally, physically taxing on your body. You don't have to just be good at fighting. You got to know how to promote yourself and be an entertainer as well. There's a lot that goes into it. So from a promotion side, if we can help them out and provide the platform and help them with all those things, whatever way we can, that makes a difference for us too. And we're really focused on that with the guys.
Right on that side. So what does a fighter say when they say, hey, I like what you're doing. Can you look at my tape? Can you watch your fight? Can I fight for you? What are the first trying to say? What is the first trying to do to you when they come out? Not do to you, do with you.
Well, they just pretty much hit me up and express interest in fighting.
Say what?
Express interest in fighting with us. We have our in-house team. We have a fighter application that we send out to every fighter, and we get information from them like that. So just basic stuff, where they're from, fighting experience, all that. If we feel like it's a fit, myself or someone from the team will reach out and kind of see if they're a fit for us. But if they want to fight for us, you just got to reach out and make that connect, and we're open and willing to talk to anyone.
Gotcha. So reaching out is super important, showing your discipline. Now, when you talk about, because I'm still stuck on that 15%, so say 10 to 15% of the fighters that you recruit in don't make it. What has been the common action, mental thing, the common core issue that those 15% of fighters have washed out and didn't make it? What do those, I don't want to say losers, but unfocused people?
Well, I would say, for me,
nice, bro.
I deal with all the rising stars, or that's the fighter development matchmaker, the rising stars. When a guy who's a debuter maybe doesn't bring the biggest crowd to the arena, but feels like they're so entitled and they're Conor McGregor and they're this and they don't have the right mindset. That right off the bat, I don't necessarily like. I mean, if they have the skills, but when the skills match with that other mindset they have, it's a flunk for me right away. And just if people are built for it or not, you could see when the guys are built for it or not. And we want to give everyone a chance, but sometimes people do perform and maybe it's not fit, it's just not there.
So at these fights, how many fights do you have at an event? 15, 20?
No. So the range will probably be anywhere from like 10 to 15.
10 to 15.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So with those 10 to 15 fights, right? How do you break it down as far as skill level? Do you actually watch every single fighter and their tape, or do you go off a record? Or do you actually have any call outs? Like, hey, I don't like this fool Miguel. Get me in the ring with him. He's from the west side. I'm from the east side. What's up?
We've had a call outs. I love when the guys do that too, because it just builds hype for the fight. But as far as the skill level,
bro.
we got rising star, the amateurs, where it's not always about record for me. What I like to tape study these guys and see what fight right now is going to help them best for their career. Right? Because you got a 3-0 guy, but he's maybe had better matchups. So he's fought all strikers and he does well against strikers. So get him against a brown belt in jiu-jitsu before he goes pro. Because I want these guys to face all the challenges as amateurs. Because when you go pro, you don't want to see it for the first time. And if I'm a promoter or a matchmaker that I say I'm trying to get these guys ready for a good career when they go pro, I'm doing them a disservice if I'm not matching them up with what they need as amateurs. So it goes by record, it goes by skill level. And then we do try to get the best guys on the card too, though. But we are open to any skill level as long as long as you're about the life and you want
any skill level, we said. So anybody who wants to come get some, come and get some, he said.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Bro, I'm telling you, go recruit at the bars, bro. Just get some of these guys. Like, you think you're a badass, bro? Come here. I got a little job for you.
Dude, that's like what's that thing that they have? Courtney is a commentator for those fights. Remember when we're talking about those fights? They're like the brawl fights that they bring them in, like
The backyard.
not backyard brawl. Backyard brawling has some good fights. There's a thing when they call.
I see those videos on YouTube. I think they're called street beefs or something. Is that what you're talking about?
Street beefs.
Street beefs is cool. I like that. It's a fun times. You know, they're good for like 30 seconds. After that, they're just like, oh, I can't get my arms up anymore.
Dude.
But there's another promotion that they're just slops, right? They're just straight slops coming out.
Bum fights?
Bum fights. I think that bum fights or something like that. They actually get in the ring.
It's crazy, bro.
See, bum fights is crazy.
Those are pretty fun to watch sometimes too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well, see, then when you say that, I was like, man, but you can't do that. I'd be like, why don't you have some sloppy ass fighters from the bar just come in and do some weird shit? But you're trying to be.
No, he's trying to get the good.
Yeah,
he's trying to get the good ones.
He's got the good fighters. He's in LA.
Yeah.
LA's got some fun fighters. Here's the thing, bro. There's a couple of hubs in the United States, right? Northern California is a big hub. Southern California is a big hub for fighting. And we're lucky up here, right? We got San Jose, Sacramento, San Francisco.
Stockton.
We got Stockton. We have 4 awesome hubs over here. You guys, it's like all of Southern California, you guys got all kinds of fighters, you know? And so with that, what are the top 2 cities, let's say top 3 cities that produce the most fighters in Southern California?
I mean, I think it's all just like the Los Angeles kind of area, but I mean, you got a couple good gyms from Torrance. CMMA is a very good gym. You got a couple gyms out in the San Fernando Valley, Haiti MMA, Goose Training Academy. You got Black House, where a lot of UFC guys are coming out of. I mean, there's actually so much talent and so many good gyms around here. The talent pool is actually pretty insane in Southern California. But to what you were talking about, we were actually thinking about doing a Southern California versus Northern California whole fight card, whole tournament, and seeing, where the best fighters come out of, either Southern California or Northern California. So that's on the schedule. We just got to get some things planned out, but that's going to be happening too. We're also doing another thing, which is we're going to call Gym Wars, where we're going to have maybe 6 in a tournament with a cash prize of 20 grand or whatever that looks like, just some type of prize. But that's what I'm saying. We're going to be different. We're trying to, we're just trying to do different stuff. So we got some
You're doing special events with nice incentives.
Yeah, for sure.
Just the sound of Gym Wars, bro.
Yeah, that sounds crazy.
Gym Wars sounds crazy.
You know what I pictured when you said that? Have you ever seen those videos of I don't know, I think it's in Russia, but there's 6 dudes and
Just
it's 6
fighting.
dudes versus 6 and they're just fucking each other up. That's what I thought about.
6 versus 6. That's crazy, bro.
If we get that sanction, I think we should do it out here, but it won't be that. But yeah, the Gym Wars will be exciting.
I think Gym Wars that'd be cool.
Yeah. So it'd be specific gym, like a fighter has its 3 best, or a gym has its 3 best fighters, another gym has their 3 best fighters, and throw them against each other.
Yeah, and just have a point system. Probably do it over 2 events, or maybe 1 or 2 events. Whoever has most points at the end wins the grand prize of
that'd be sick.
We decided it is.
Yeah,
that'd be sick. You can even say Torrance versus West Covina versus Santa Monica. Just go back to the 80s gangs and shit. My city versus your city.
Gang wars.
Gang wars. Gang violence, bro.
Gang wars promoted by Up Next Fighting, bro. You'll build the name quick, bro. I like that. I like that a lot, bro.
So I noticed that you mentioned that you used to work for your dad doing the doing his investigative business.
Yep.
Is it okay? I wanted to touch on that. So now I'm curious. What are the craziest cases that you guys had to deal with? What was something because I have no idea. I've never met a private investigator before.
Yeah, well, I can speak to what cases I've kind of been involved with. So he's a private investigator for intellectual property. He works for pharmaceutical companies, retail brands, cosmetics, and all that. The behind the scenes stuff and all the real investigating he kind of does, which I've got to see a little bit of, but not been too involved. But the raids, we go on, the stuff we seize, you're talking 20 box trucks of just pallets of fake pharmaceuticals, fake COVID tests, fake cosmetics, and all that shit is actually so bad for the people that are taking it. Right? You can get fake cancer medicine it's just water in a syringe, but people are thinking it's fake medicine. So I think just the amount that how do I want to put this? Just what we seize and what we get off the streets of the bad stuff is pretty insane to me.
So the way you're able to analyze, right? Your dad's a private investigator, was with the sheriff's department and all that great stuff. So the way he's able to process it from a different angle as far as the legal side, which I got the legal mind also as far as law and order, right?
Yeah.
The way you've learned, the way he's trained you, how do you able to convert that into matchmaking and the promotion of Up Next Fighting?
Well, I think what I learned from my dad being honestly one of the best investigators in the world is how strategic he is and how he thinks about everything from the front end and like just being very on point and doing things the right way. I think I kind of do that with my matchmaking.
Mhm.
You know, I have a process of how I like to do things. I gotta, check off all these boxes where if these guys like if it's gonna be a fit and do all that. So I think just the mindset he has and how he carries himself every day, I'm kind of trying to definitely not at the level he's at, but I'm trying to take that. And I think it's honestly helped me tremendously with what I'm doing right now.
Correct. Well, he's a workhorse. So you're becoming a workhorse. I really believe the way you're going, bro, you're going to be working the 60 hours a week and 70 hours a week,
Bro, and
80
then-
hours a week.
And then his son, like in 20 years, his son's gonna be like, man, my dad needs to chill, bro.
My dad needs
Oh, he's for sure going to, yeah.
talking to us again on old and new money. I'll be old as fuck money. And we're like, man, you remember my dad when you first interviewed him? I'm like, yeah, I remember fucking Ryan. He was complaining about his the same shit you're saying right now, son. Your dad did it. Guess what your future is? You're gonna be just like your grandpa, son.
I love it. I love it.
It's gonna be awesome, bro. So what's next for you guys? After the next events, I mean, you guys have 11 events in 13 months, 14 months, something like that.
Yeah, I think 14 months.
So what's your goal for 2024? You want to have 12 events in 12 months or?
I would say minimum 12 events in 12 months. We want to stay active and we want to keep growing. I think kind of keep doing what we're doing, but just evolve a little bit every single time. Because I mean, that's kind of what we've been doing.
So I
but
know
you-
you have recruited some fighters. Where you recruited the recent fighters from? What states?
Most of the fighters are from Southern California, but like even our event coming up September 2nd, Curtis Milner's our middleweight champ. He's fighting Sadiya Parker, who's out of Colorado.
Okay.
So, we bring guys in from all over the place to make fights and make tough, good matchups for the fans to watch. But most of the rising stars right now are coming out of Southern California.
You want to talk about the West Virginia stuff you were talking about?
There's not much to it besides that we're bringing two of the best in that state to come fight two of the best in our state and see who the better guys are, Virginia or
Look at how
California.
your eyes light up, bro, when you talk about that. Look
Gets
at
me
your
hyped,
eyes.
man. It
You're
really
so
does get me
excited,
hyped.
bro. Good. Yeah, you should be excited, brother. Talk about that. That's phenomenal. You bring some fighters from Virginia to come out and fight the best fighters that you got out here. That's pretty exciting, bro. Don't downplay that. That's awesome.
No, it's cool. I mean, that's what we want. That's what we want to do, though, is find the best guys and have the best guys fight the best guys too.
Yeah.
And I think it's just a cool storyline. You got the guys in California where we're based at it, but we're willing to bring guys from all over the nation to come fight and see who the best guys are. Another cool thing we're doing too is we actually had our first Club UNF show a month and a half ago. It's a show it's a fight card that we hold in a nightclub. So we call it turning a nightclub into a fight club.
Say that again. Say that again, brother, because I think I got it, but tell me again. So you went into a nightclub, you turned this bad boy into a fight club.
Yeah,
Is that what you did?
We did.
And is there like a DJ playing like
Yeah.
music and like
Yeah.
people are getting drinks?
Oh yeah, dude. I'll send you guys pictures after this, but it was off the hook. I mean, I got a lot of my friends come because I'm a little younger than most people. They all loved it. They felt like they were in a movie. Like you just feel like you're in a movie. I mean, intermissions, you're partying like you're at a club, and then you get to watch people beat each other up, and then you go back to that and just flip back and forth. We got really
That's fucking
good
nasty,
reviews on that.
bro.
Like everyone loved that. So that's gonna stay a part of our schedule moving forward. We actually have a Club UNF show coming up September 28th at Academy LA.
Okay.
Well, I
Hell
don't want you to
yeah.
only send me a link to see that. I want to send it. I want you to send me an
Hey,
invite.
hold
or
on. I need you guys to show up for that event though. It's at a club.
September 28th.
September 28th. Our
Okay.
guest.
Yeah. All right.
How can we say no?
Yeah. How can we say no to that?
How can we say
Sounds
no?
good to me. My dad will be buying the drinks for you guys. Don't worry.
Oh, hey, he
Look at
said
what-
it.
Look at
He
his dad.
said it. He
Look
said
at
it.
their dad buying his drinks. So look at his pops real quick. His dad saying, "What are you doing, son? Look at that big old Mexican. You know what he drinks? I don't get filled up, bro. I got this liver, bro. I can get drunk as hell. In 30 minutes, I'm sober. So, pops, you're fucked, bro. I'm drinking your whole wallet off right now, bro.
Oh man. No, yeah, that's crazy. That's a crazy concept. How did you even come up with that? Like that's
From the movies, bro.
Yeah.
That's from the movies,
I
right?
know it feels like a movie, but we have a good team, and one of our team members has a connect at Academy LA, which is a nightclub, and nightclubs all around Southern California. And we kind of reached out to them like, hey, we want to do something different. We could sell it out. We could make sure your bar tab is this and that and this,
Yeah.
and they were for it. So, you know, that's kind of how it came about. And we also take pride in being different than everyone else, and no one else is doing that. There's not another promotion that is having a fight card at a nightclub and turning a nightclub into a fight club. So doing
Gotcha,
something
gotcha.
different.
And tell me about the whole fight. How many fights did you have that night? And how was the crowd? No crazy fights in the crowd or anything like that. Everyone's chill.
No,
Or was it
surprisingly, no.
or
The
there were
only
a
fights,
couple of
the
fucking
only fights
uppercuts?
were in the cage.
Only.
We sold it
Right.
out. I think the capacity over there is like around 1,000 people, but
Okay.
sold it out. We had eight
Wow.
fights that night. The fights were amazing too. Shout out to all the fighters that actually came to fight. You got VIP tables going on. You got everyone by the bar. It's
Yo, you
really
got bottle service and everything happening? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
bottle service.
That's some player shit,
Dude,
bro.
that's badass,
I
bro.
like that.
Well,
That's
listen,
like you know that
it
reminds me
gives-
of like fucking the movie Blade, bro.
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
that's what you said. I'm thinking the movie Blade right there. You know, Wesley
Yeah.
Snipes and shit.
Yeah.
You know, it was like all underneath the fucking in the ground.
Yeah.
Fighting,
Like
trying
an
to kill each other in
like
the
an
cage.
underground bar, but it's like, fancy. Like people are suited up and stuff, drinking mojitos and shit.
And that's what came to my mind. Mojitos. This guy's so fancy, bro. Hey, pops, straight shots for me, bro. This guy mojitos. You know, I don't know why he likes that
Ain't
sugar in his
fancy,
drink.
bro.
Putting sugar in his drink. What's wrong with you, bro?
I'm gonna make sure.
Mezcal.
You guys drink tequila? You like tequila?
I'll drink tequila, yeah.
I'll have something
all of a
special for
sudden-
you guys there.
All of a sudden, he says no more mojitos. I just put a little bit of
I'll
pressure.
drink,
on him.
I'll drink both.
Breaks on me right then.
I'll drink both.
And look at it again. Serious. How serious you get,
I
bro.
can drink both.
I apologize for hurting your feelings, bro, with your mojito.
No, my feeling. I'll drink another one.
Hey,
You know-
mojitos aren't that bad, man. I
Right.
prefer tequila, but I mean, mojitos are alright.
There you go. That's my dog right there. I like that shit. Bro, everything you're doing here, we love it. We support it. Anytime you want to get any of your fighters on, let us know. We'll interview them and all that good stuff. Hopefully we're down there at your promotion the 28th. Get drunk with you guys. And before that, we'd like to interview any of your fighters that you want to bring shine on. Let them know, because the world really needs to know about these young men, because all the hard work that they're putting into their life, we need to bring some shine to them. These are like superhumans of this world. And like I said, especially in California, bro, we need an example of these superhumans. Let men know, hey, you don't just have to be on your phone. You don't have to be a .com. You don't have to be a little techie. You can actually be a man and come in here, come into the gym and learn to take a punch to the motherfucking face, right?
Yeah.
It's not that
Right.
bad. It's not, it actually feels good. This guy boxes me up all the time, dude. He's got like these hands of stones and shit. What do they call you in your gym? Roberto Duran. They call him the next coming of Roberto Duran, bro.
That's
Well,
No,
to your point, I think every human needs to get punched in the face once. You know? You
Yeah.
gotta-
no, I agree with that. That's true. I agree with.
I think it's fun, bro. So what would you tell, you've been raised in the gym also, your pops trained you in martial arts your whole life.
Yeah.
What would you tell these young men that have never, ever been in the gym, bro? Never been in a dojo, never been in a boxing training facility, never. What would you tell these young men? What advice would you give them?
I think if you take training seriously, it's going to teach you discipline, respect,
Mhm.
and it will humble you if you actually go to the gym and train with people. I think for me, the discipline and respect is kind of the biggest things I took away from my training with MMA. And everyone needs a little more discipline and respect in life. So I think everyone should be doing at least one MMA class a week or something.
I agree with you, brother. Now, I want you to get this last word and finish this off with, what do you advise these young fighters that want to come to you? What do you expect out of them? These young fighters that want to come fight for you, be the next badass here up next fighting. What are you going to tell them?
Well, they kind of got to hear what we're putting into the promotion, what we're trying to become. So I'd say if you really want to be a fighter, you're going to give your 110% into it. I think you're a fit with Up Next Fighting, and we're here to see that out. But just if you do choose this career path, I think give it 110%, work hard, and make something happen for yourself, and we'll definitely help out.
Phenomenal, brother. We love everything about you. I look forward to being at your fights, and look forward to creating a wonderful relationship. And all these fighters are going to love you, I know, because you're all about it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Say hi to your pops.
Yeah, shout out to your father.
Yeah, we're going to drink on your pops.
Hey,
we already called
hey,
it.
we talked good. We talked enough about him. All right, I
That's
appreciate
awesome.
you guys.
Thank you for being with us, brother.
Thank you,
I appreciate
Ryan.
you guys.
All right, man.